Welcome back to G.A.M.E.R Unite. I'm your host, G.A.M.E.R here, and we are close to 2 weeks away from the Game Awards, which is debatably the biggest gaming event of the year, especially with the absence of E3. This is really just a time where we as a gaming industry can really just come together, regardless of platform or interest in genres and studios, and just really celebrate games. And that's just what you love to see, and also get some epic reveals and announcements, world premieres if you will, along the way. And before we get any closer to the show, there are some things I do want to talk about and I think would be really neat to talk about, including of course the nominees, some things that we could possibly see, and but first I do want to make a special announcement. I do have something I like to say, and that is that I will be attending the show in person on December 8th in LA, and I could not be more excited and more thrilled to join the industry that I personally call second home and just celebrate games and have a great time. I will be having 2 friends joining me, so it should be a great time. And I've never really been to a big, in-person gaming event like this, and as someone who plans to design video games himself, go in the industry, I could say this is absolutely a dream come true. And even if I wasn't gonna design games, the feeling of reacting to game announcements and being in the same building as people who share the same interests that I'm interested in, it's truly a special moment for me. But yeah, but enough of me. Let's talk about the show itself. And of course, it is an award show, so we got to talk about the awards, the nominees. And if you haven't watched a previous video, I know it's a bit long, but we do have some really good talks, and we do cover a lot in there, including all the nominees, what our votes are, and what our predictions are for what will win. And basically a little recap. I think this is absolutely one of the best years in terms of nominations and the nominees for each category. I think they did a bang-up job getting a lot of variety in there and really letting every game get the credit it deserves. Now, of course, there are some categories where I do think there may have been a little snub, or maybe that game shouldn't have been there, but there are even some where I'm like, yo, that's actually a really good pick. I didn't think about that. And but overall, I think this is one of the best nominees I've ever seen. I think it is the best nominees I've ever seen, especially Game of the Year, which is the thing I do want to talk about a little bit. And that is all 6 nominees really just bring a smile on my face, and I'm very excited and very happy that they did. There's only one in there that I would personally switch, and that is Stray. But even then, I do think it is a great game, so I am personally 100% okay with it being there. Personally, my game of the year, if you guys have been watching, if you guys watched my reviews and everything, you guys do know it is God of War Ragnarok. I think that game is the definition of a masterpiece. We gave it a 10 out of 10 here on G.A.M.E.R Unite. And so personally, if God of War Ragnarok won Game of the Year, I'd be so thrilled. And that's personally what I want to win. Really, if any of the 6 won, I would be okay with it. Maybe not Stray, but really just all of them did deserve it, so I'd be 100% okay with that. However, I do think I gotta be realistic here, and I do think Elden Ring is actually gonna come out with the win, and that's just for multiple reasons. Honestly, it's just Elden Ring. Really, the impact that game made just everywhere when it released, it made a niche genre turn into mainstream, like, highest selling craziness. And it is a phenomenal game. The open world is like unmatched. The combat is just as good as any Souls game, and the creativity, visuals, music, all of it's just great. And so I do think in the end Elden Ring will actually come out with the win, but I wouldn't be shocked if God of War came out with the win either. It's really going to be a rivalry between those two. I think they're going to go at it all night with all the categories. But personally, I want God of War, but I do think it'll be Elden Ring. But even if Plague Tale, Xenoblade, Horizon Forbidden West, or Stray won, I'd be okay with it, and I completely understand. Now, that's why I'm excited for the awards, is not only the fact that, you know, I just said, I think all the nominees are great. I think all the categories did a really good job at portraying games that actually deserve the credit and giving a lot of different variety to a bunch of different games. But it's just something where you could really just celebrate, see the teams and the developers, you know, get happy, excited because they won an award. It's just a nice time for awards. It's not something I necessarily super care about to the point where if something wins, I'll be upset or like just start going crazy. But it's just a fun little thing to recognize great games, and it's just something I'm really excited to see in person. Also, for the Game Awards, we do get to see the orchestra, especially for the Game of the Year nominees. We'll get to see its main theme played with the orchestra. And, of course, there'll be other performances throughout the show. You know, Jeff Keighley loves doing those live on-stage music performances. And, you know, from a viewer just on YouTube, on a live stream, I can say I never was really the biggest fan of those. But going in person, I could actually see how that could actually be quite interesting and fun. So I am actually looking forward to that. Like I said, you get to see people kind of go on stage, accept the award. I think that could be pretty cool. We could end up seeing some like big names in person. Like I could actually see Phil Spencer in person. Oh, that's awesome. We could see Reggie, Nintendo's GOAT. You could see Hideo Kojima. We could just see so many cool names up there, and even like Christopher Judge or Ashley Birch. We could see them if they win the performance award. You know, it's just it's gonna be really exciting. I am really excited. Of course, we're gonna see Jeff Keighley in person, which is always nice. But the biggest thing, which everybody's gonna go in here for, and that's gonna be the biggest talking point and the biggest takeaway, and that is the games. The games. Who will be there? What will be there? We're going to go and talk about it. I'm going to go through companies each individually, talk about all the possibilities that they could have, and then we will just kind of give an overall consensus. I'll give some other ones at the end as well that aren't necessarily part of a specific company, but let's start off with the one that I think is the most likely to be there. We're going to start with the big three. The one I think is most likely to be there is actually Xbox. Now, Xbox has been at the Game Awards like every year for quite a while now. They announced the Series X and S, or no, not the S, sorry. They announced the Xbox Series X back in 2019, and along with Hellblade 2, and then showed up again in 2021. No, again in 2020 with Perfect Dark announcement, which was awesome. Still can't wait for that game. And then they showed up again in 2021 with Hellblade 2 gameplay trailer, and that was epic. So I do think they will be here again. Now the question is, what could they show? I could see them doing multiple things. I could. I don't think they will. I think it'll be like one. I think it'll be one big thing. And the question is, will it be Hellblade again? Which I wouldn't be opposed to it. We still do need a release date. It'd be nice to get maybe another 2023 game for Xbox, because their 2023 is already looking the best we've seen in years from Xbox. So it'd be nice to get another 2023 game just to really add on to that. Perfect Dark, we could see a re-reveal for that, especially since you know, it was originally announced at the Game Awards. And that's something to think about when it comes to the Game Awards, is typically games that were announced at the Game Awards will end up showing up at the Game Awards again. So Perfect Dark would be epic. Avowed would be peak. That would be, in my opinion, the best case scenario, best outcome, the best thing that they could show. Avowed to me is, like, apart from Starfield, my most hype Xbox game. And so to finally see it again after like 3 years, geez, would be so, like, break everything. That would break internet, break the stadium. It would be epic. Fable would also be really close to Avowed. I wouldn't say it's as big as Avowed. It might actually be bigger than Avowed. To me, Avowed's bigger, but I think actually Fable, in terms of like actual general audience, Fable's more loved, mainly because it's actually a known IP, apart from a new IP. But then So Fable would be nice. I don't think we're gonna get Fable personally. If I had to put my money on something, I think Avowed, Perfect Dark, Hellblade, and the next 3 that I'm gonna talk about are the most likely, and that is Starfield. We could see Starfield again, which would be insane to see that in person. Since I mean that's literally like the biggest game in history, and so to see that live in person would be huge. But we could get a release date actually for Starfield, which again, epic. Redfall, same boat, could get a release date, could see an update on it, which would be nice. Forza Motorsport could get an update / release date. A lot of these are just, we need updates, release dates. Stalker 2, you know, I would really like it if Stalker 2 came there. I am rooting for Stalker 2 so hard because of everything the studio's been through. They are a Ukrainian studio, so if you guys have been not living under a rock, you know the struggles and the unfortunate events that have been happening in Ukraine, and my heart goes out to them, and my support for this game is higher than like anything else. So I hope this game, if this game does show up, I would be really excited because I'm rooting for this game so hard. But if not, I completely understand. They need as much time as they possibly can. We couldn't see a new game announcement, you know. I don't think we will, you know, like if, you know, Pipe Dream, Banjo-Kazooie or something like that would be insane. I don't think we will. Indiana Jones, I think, is actually not the biggest stretch. We know Machine Games is working on an Indiana Jones game, which is basically a Bethesda Indiana Jones game, and that would be really cool. We could see some Game Pass additions, which is actually likely throughout the entire show. Really, just any company could do a Game Pass edition. So, but I do think Xbox will be here in some capacity. I'm just very curious on what it will be. Praying for Perfect Dark, Avowed, Fable, or Starfield, personally. Nintendo, I think Nintendo could show up. I'm not going to say they're likely or anything, but I do think they could show up. Metroid Prime 4 easily would be the biggest announcement for me. I'm a huge Metroid fan. It's my second favorite Nintendo franchise, and Metroid Dread is my favorite Switch game. And so Metroid Prime 4 would literally, like, honestly would probably, like, if they showed Metroid Prime 4, there's only like maybe 2 other games in existence that would make me more excited. That's how excited I am for Metroid Prime 4. Is there's not many things that would be better than Metroid Prime 4. So if Metroid Prime 4 shows up, that makes the entire event. All right, I'm just saying that right now. The next Mario game would be huge. I do love the mainline 3D Mario games, so seeing the next one would be great. Or if it's even just a mainline 2D one, I would take that as well. Just give me a new Mario game, bro. It's been so long. We need it. We need it. Game Awards would be a huge place to do it. As well as Donkey Kong. It's been a while. We've been hearing rumors of a 3D Donkey Kong game, so seeing that would be really exciting. Something else, you know, I don't know. They could just swing out of left field and give us something completely random. ARMS 2, let's hope not. So, I don't know. You never know. Nintendo could just come out with a really strange surprise that is actually really cool. Tears of the Kingdom, I think maybe Tears of the Kingdom will be there. I really don't know. I do think it could use another trailer, just like finally get like its big trailer that that everyone's been waiting for. But I personally, I just don't see it. I think Nintendo would hold off to do that themselves. I think Fire Emblem could get an update since it will release in February. So I do think that, or no, maybe even January. I do think they might do a little update just to advertise the game. And I do not think Pikmin will be there. They did announce Pikmin 4 recently in their last Direct, and I don't think Pikmin will be here again. I think they will wait to show that in another Direct later down the line. Moving on to PlayStation. Bruh, PlayStation is a complete mystery. If you haven't seen my video 2 days ago, what's next for PlayStation, we basically talked about all their future and their possibility, and it's a complete mystery, especially in terms of first party, and that's what I'm talking about here. The only thing I think is even possible, like the only thing I could even guess at this point would either be Last of Us Factions or which is the online multiplayer Last of Us game, or the thing that I think would be peak as well, make the show, like, there are, you know, like I said earlier, there's not very many things that I would want more than Metroid Prime 4. And honestly, I wouldn't even say this is higher than Metroid Prime 4. And that's Spider-Man 2. I don't think we will see Spider-Man 2. I really don't. But it would be peak, and it would break the internet, and would be the most, like, one of the most insane moments ever. But I don't think... I just don't see it. I don't really know what play. I think PlayStation showing the Last of Us faction is the most likely thing, and so I'll look forward to that if that's the case. Because yes, I didn't like Last of Us Part 2, but that doesn't mean to say that Last of Us Factions is going to be bad. Because yes, as much as I don't like Last of Us Part 2, Naughty Dog is a talented studio when they want to be, and it's a new game, so I gotta at least give it a chance, you know. Square Enix, I think, is very likely. Square Enix is in everything. FF16 trailer and release date, I think, is the most likely thing, because we did hear a little rumor or inside source saying that we would get another FF16 trailer by the end of the year, supposedly somewhere in December. Well, Game Awards is in December, so I could definitely see FF16 trailer being there, and that would be huge. That would be a good way to bring Square Enix. That would be their one thing. Boom, Square Enix, A-okay. Could see another one of their, you know, 50,000 2D HD games. I hope not. I'm personally tired of them. I don't think they're bad or anything, but when we get like 8 of them every year, it's just kind of like, come on, man. Let's get a break. Like, release them slower. Another Forspoken update is likely, just because Forspoken's everywhere, dude. There's so many trailers, and while it is one of my most anticipated games, just like at all, we don't really need more. I'm already sold on it. They've showed so much. We don't really need more. Octopath Traveler 2 could get an update. That is one of the 2D HD games that I am really like looking forward to, because I did love the first Octopath Traveler. FF7 Remake Part 2 Rebirth, I think is unlikely. I think they're going to save that for another event, as well as Kingdom Hearts 4. I think that's also unlikely. Now, something a little pipe dream I'm going to throw out there, because I don't think it's all that far of a reach. And this is one of those games that I would say would be better than Metroid Prime 4. And you don't get that easily. And that is Just Cause 5. If you guys know, Just Cause 4 is my, like, second favorite game, I do believe. So you can only imagine how hyped I would be for Just Cause 5. Oh, it'd bring a tear to my eye. Oh, man. It'd be so awesome. But I actually don't think that's that unlikely, because we do know another Just Cause is in development. I don't know for how long, or how long we have until it releases, but it's likely. It's likely. Capcom, definitely, I think, will be there in some way. Street Fighter release date, I think, is the most likely thing. Resident Evil 4 update, I think, is actually unlikely. I don't think they will, because we just had some big updates on the game, so I don't think we're going to get another one. My biggest wish, if I could have Capcom do anything, would be finally show this game that I have such high hopes for, and I think has potential to be one of the best games, like, the year it comes out. And that is Pragmata. Looks... The trailer that they showed looks so awesome. And we know nothing about the game. I am so excited to see what this game is about. And if they showed it at the Game Awards, I'd be hype as can be. Exo Primal update, I think, could happen, because apparently it's supposed to release 2023, and you know what, I saw gameplay. I don't think it actually looks that bad. I'll definitely be giving it a try when it releases, but yeah, so I definitely think Capcom will be here some way, somehow. EA is very likely, for one specific reason. That's because at the time of recording this, there has been high rumors and high inside sources saying that we will be getting a re-reveal / update for, oh boy, Star Wars Survivor, Jedi Survivor. And oh man, that would be so peak. If that happens, that would be so peak. That would be one of, like, that's like definitely one of my top ones even before the rumors and the sources started saying that, Jedi Survivor was one of my highest ones, because Star Wars is my favorite franchise of all time, and video games are my favorite like things of all time. So mash those two together, you already know how excited I'd be. And if I get to see that in person, oh, dream. Dead Space remake update could happen. I don't think it will. I don't see it. I just don't think they need to. But yeah, I mean, they could also show the new Wild Hearts. Is that the name of it? Yeah, Wild Hearts. They could show that. I don't think they will. But I definitely think EA will be there just for Star Wars Jedi Survivor. And I will absolutely take it. Warner Bros. Ooh, isn't this the wild card of the night? Warner Bros., you guys know, is my favorite third-party company. Just favorite company outside of the big three. And right off the bat, I gotta say, if NetherRealm is here, and I get to see that in person, I get to see their next game in person. NetherRealm Studios, makers of Mortal Kombat Injustice. Oh, dear God, I'm gonna lose it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my #1 pipe dream. This is my #1 hope, my #1 want, my #1 dream. There's nothing in the world that I could possibly say that I would want more than NetherRealm's next game. I wouldn't even say I want Ghost of Tsushima 2 more than this, because thing is like NetherRealm, I know I'm getting Ghost of Tsushima 2. I just have to wait. We know we're getting a NetherRealm game, but we don't know what it is, dude. We don't know what it is or why it's taking so long. Like, there is so much more mystery and excitement for this than Ghost of Tsushima 2, because I just gotta wait for Ghost of Tsushima 2. That's it. I mean, yeah. So, but Hogwarts Legacy is likely, unfortunately, because I don't know. I just feel like we'll get like a trailer that shows absolutely nothing new. It's kind of just an advertisement. But another game from Warner Bros. I think is actually really likely to show up here and get a new release date that is Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. This is a game I am still, yes, looking forward to, and I do think could actually show up. It showed up last year, so Ubisoft is a possibility. I think Assassin's Creed Mirage would be huge. That'd be so awesome to see Assassin's Creed there. I'm not sure if it's gonna happen, because I do think this is actually one of my, like, in terms of my actual predictions on what I think is likely, this is probably one of the most likely games to show up. Like, this is extremely likely. And that is Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. It's supposed to release next year, and it just so happens the Game Awards happens right around the time Avatar 2 releases. And we've been seeing a lot of mix and matching, a lot of swinging back and forth between the movie industry or television industry and the gaming industry. They kind of coincide with each other and help the other grow. I could see them showing an Avatar 2 movie trailer or something, and then immediately going in afterwards and showing the Avatar game. I just see it. I could just envision it. I definitely think Avatar is the most likely for Ubisoft, and I'd be super hyped because I am really excited about the game and seeing what it's like. So I would be super hyped for that. Sega's a huge question mark, dude. I don't even know. Sega's, dude, they've released so much this year, and we know like so little games that are coming out. I just don't even know. Like Persona 6, I guess, would be the best announcement possible. But I don't see it. I just don't see it. And then Yakuza in some way, whether it's a Yakuza 8 update, which I don't think it's time yet, or the other two, which are Ishin or the man who erased his name, I think. We could see those, but I just don't think so. But yeah, apart from that, other things that are possibilities without going with by specific company, you know, Diablo 4 getting a release date, I think is likely. I would hope, pray to God, another big thing, something Crash or Spyro related. Two of my favorite platforming franchises. I would love to see something Crash or Spyro related. Wolf Among Us 2 update. It's supposed to come out 2023. We don't have a release date. We've barely seen anything on the game, really. That'd be really nice. Stellar Blade update. Finally get a release date. We know it's 2023, but getting an official release date would be nice. Hollow Knight Silksong release date. Atomic Heart just give us another update, I guess. We do have a release date, so I don't know if Atomic Heart is necessarily one of the most likely things. Alan Wake 2 needs a release date, was announced last year at the Game Awards with a 2023 release date. Well, here we are at the Game Awards again. It's about to be 2023. I think it's about time we finally see this game. Oh, I'd be so hyped for that. Ark 2. Ark is one of my favorite games of all time, and so Ark 2 gives me a lot of excitement, but also a lot of worry because I've heard some very questionable things about it, how it's going to be like a Souls-type gameplay. I don't know how I feel about that, but it is what it is. Dead Island 2 did just get delayed, so I could see us getting an update on that, just on how development and how it looks. Tekken 8. I would lose my mind if we got Tekken 8. I don't think we will, especially if NetherRealm is there, because they're not gonna do, and especially if Street Fighter's there, they're not gonna do all these fighting games in one show. There's just too much competition for that. Due to past record with the Game Awards, one of my most likely things, and honestly one of my most wanted things as well, is new IPs. We're gonna see new IPs, that's inevitable, and I just hope they look good and interest me, as like 95% of games do. So, you know, bring out all the new IPs you want. I will take them all. But the reason I think the announcements are gonna be really good this year is tons of these games. If you've probably noticed a trend through all these games that I've been talking about, a lot of them just need updates, and a lot of them just need release dates. And because 2023 is already looking like the goated year, the best year of gaming ever by its release schedule, there's a lot of question marks around the industry that can be answered. And this is a big event. This is the big event right before the 2023, which is looking like the best year ever, and we need tons of release dates. There's tons of games that have 2023 like scheduled, but don't have actual release dates or haven't got an update in a while. And that is what I think is going to be so good about this. We're just going to see a ton of updates, as well as, of course, some new game announcements. Also, I just now thought about it at the top of my head just now, so I'm just going to add it in there. Warner Bros. Games could show the Wonder Woman game, which they announced last year at the Game Awards as well. But, you know, in total, I would be happy if even a quarter of all these games showed up. Not even a quarter. A quarter is even asking for too much. I think if maybe 1/8, all right, 1/8 of these games showed up, I would be happy. My top wants/pipe dreams, if you will: NetherRealm's game, Metroid Prime 4, Just Cause 5, Avowed Fable, or Perfect Dark, and Pragmata. Those are like my top ones. I would also throw Spider-Man 2 in there as well. We'll see, man. We'll see. No matter the announcements, though, or world premieres, or even if the awards are just mid, I'm still so thrilled to be going, and I'm sure I'm gonna love it. Even if the announcements, world premieres suck, and the awards are mid, I'm still gonna be happy, because going in person in this community, doing and seeing what I love, because in the end of the day, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna continue doing what I love, and that's playing video games. This is still a dream come true. I don't need this event to be goated for me to have a good time and be happy that I went. Yes, I'm spending a lot of money going, but in the end, no matter what, it's going to be worth it, because this is an experience of a lifetime, something I'm never going to get anywhere else. And yeah, dream come true, guys. I cannot wait. I will be doing multiple videos covering the show, including a vlog, and multiple videos afterwards covering games that were announced, taking deep dives, talking about the winners and all that stuff. So go watch all those once they happen. The event is December 8th, but for now, go watch What's Next for PlayStation video that I was talking about earlier, and go watch the What's Next for Nintendo and Xbox next week. Let me know what your predictions are down below. What are some of your expectations? What are some games you would like to see? But anyway, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, definitely leave a like, leave a comment, section down below provided, and please subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. G.A.M.E.R out. Peace.